Let's take another peek at the help screen of Nmap. What do you say we try the trio of null, fin, and Xmas scans? I'm going to send a null scan to port 80 on my Windows host machine. My Apache web server is running. Listening on port 80. But Nmap is saying the port is closed. Why is that? Well, remember that Windows machines will always send an RST in response to null, fin, and Xmas scans, regardless if the port is open or closed. You can see the same results when I change the N for null to an F for fin. In Wireshark, we can see the results of both scans. I'm using a display filter of ip.adder equals 192.168.1.104 and tcp.port equals 80. This is the IP address of my Kali box and traffic that it's involving port 80. For the Xmas scan, we'll remove the port specifier and let Nmap scan the most common 1,000 ports. Nmap says all 1,000 scanned ports on 192.168.1.101 are closed. But we know better. Let's take a look at these Xmas tree lights. The fin, push, and urge flags are turned on. I'm going to repeat this scan, this time on my router, which is not running a Windows operating system. It does have web access enabled. We can see that both ports 80 and 443 are showing up as open or filtered. we can continue sniffing on Wireshark on the host, since all traffic to and from the VM still has to pass through the Windows host machine's physical NIC. Changing our Wireshark display filter to the IP address of the router you can see the scans to my router on port 80 didn't return RSTs, which means either the port is open or the port is filtered. How can we tell which one it is? That's where the ACK scan comes into play. The ACK scan will identify a port as filtered or unfiltered. Let's change the X to an A for an ACK scan. All 1000 scan ports on 192.168.1.1 are unfiltered. Combine that with the logic from the Xmas scan, and we can conclude that my router has ports 80 and 443 open for business. In Wireshark, we're still using a display filter of my router's IP address and TCP related traffic on port 80. Here's the ACK scan. You'll notice that the ACK scan was responded to with an RST from my router. That means the ACK scan wasn't filtered and it got there. Then my router sent an RST. If there was a firewall filtering the scan, my router would not have sent the RST since it wouldn't have received the ACK. Changing the filter to just the IP address of my router and TCP on any port, we can see all of the ACKs and RSTs. Wireshark captured them in groups of each.